Real Estate, brought to you by Skyview Real Estate, a conversational, informative and interactive talk show where Akash Kanjwani, our chief moderator from Skyview Real Estate, he is the CEO, who takes the conversation forward and tells you everything related to real estate. Akash, welcome. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you so much for welcoming me.
It's a beautiful day, right?
Oh yes, it's a very wonderful day, and I think it's more wonderful when people hear about real estate.
Absolutely. So when you talk about the real estate, Skyview and you as a CEO has been leading one of the domains of real estate for a very long time. Tell me about your journey and how's it been so far?
Okay, so Skyview started almost 17 years back. It was in 2005. So I was finishing my college, and there were a lot of opportunities, job options and things, but real estate always fascinated me. And my father, when the real estate started, the freehold property started in Dubai. So there was always conversation happening at home about buying properties, about investing. So that was very interesting. Once I finished my college, the first thing that I did was follow my passion. This is my passion. This is real estate, houses, was always the passion. Not many people know that the reason to get into properties was, one of the reasons was I wanted to have enough investments to buy a house and also have something, a fancy car that I was always dreamed of. And I think real estate helped me to achieve both. I had a car immediately after 4 months of working in real estate, and the first property I bought was almost after 1 year in real estate. So this is something really proud of.
Right. As a CEO, you give listeners and everyone listening in a lot of confidence that real estate is back in business, and it's a great time to keep listeners informed and also make them aware of all facilities that Skyviews offers in and around UAE. So let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about how is the market panning out at this point of time?
Well, see, Skyview is in the market for almost 17 years now.
Right.
And what we have realized, we have seen ups and downs. What we have realized that there is never a bad time to invest into real estate, but there's always bad time if you choose a wrong real estate and you exit too soon.
Right.
We have seen areas which have developed very recently and gone up very fast. But if you have areas like Palm, like downtown, they have never really lost value. They have always created values, and the rental returns that you expect of these places. So downtown, even in the down market in 2018-19, when people consider market to be a little bit slower side, was always rentable. There was not a position where we never had a client who was asking for properties in downtown. Palm has seen appreciation of almost 150 to 200% in certain apartments and villas, which is unbelievable. But also when during the down market, you will still find buyers for Palm always lining up and buying good properties and good quality properties.
Right.
So it's not only about investing in the right areas, it's also investing in a right kind of properties which you can afford, so that you're not under pressure of selling it when the market goes a little bit down. And once you ride that wave when it is in the lower side, you will always be winner and you will always make money with it. What Skyview does from in terms of perspective, we understand the client, we understand his requirement. Most importantly, we understand the budget, and then we suggest properties. We just don't tell you to buy anything and everything.
Right. And this is all about covering topics like last week we did renting versus owning. If you were to give a brief summary of it, what was concluded?
So basically what we were trying to make people understand, that you have been renting property for 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
Rather than use that money, start saving for your down payment. Once you have enough down payment, you can always start looking for properties and cover your rental amount with your EMIs, replace them. In case if you don't find the right property in your budget, you should always look for something cheaper. Right. So that at least you start getting some kind of rental return of a property to start into the property cycle.
Right.
And once you start buying your first property, you don't have to. Currently you're living in a 3-bedroom villa, but you don't have enough down payment and enough payment for that. You can start with a studio or a 1-bedroom to get a rental return to cover up the rents that you're paying.
Right.
And I think we had few callers who were very appreciative, and I must say there are few people who called up in our office. Right. And they were very impressed with the show. They were very happy that we have done something similar like this on air. And they were more detailed. They wanted more details. So I think with this, what we are trying to cover today will be a step further. That what gives them people a comfort to buy a house than renting in Dubai.
Over the next 12 weeks, we're going to be covering broader topics with Akash from Skyview. We spoke about renting versus owning last week. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. What is that topic?
So when we were talking about renting versus owning, one of the things that we came across was people being not comfortable. They are very comfortable in their jobs, and then they are insecure when you buy a property. They are not sure that if they lose a job what happens to the property.
Right.
And sometimes they might move on. They might move to another country, maybe to their home country or Canada or USA, wherever they go further. So golden visa is one of the things that Dubai government has started from
Right.
2018, and this golden visa on property gives them a lot more assurance that even if you lose a job or if you move on to a different country, on a property you can take a golden visa. And this is golden visas are three different categories. Then there are investors visa, and today we want to discuss all these in detail so people understand that properties are going to give you a long term value, and plus you don't have to be dependent on a job to stay in Dubai. You can have your property, the golden visa, and you can always stay back in this country or have this visa for a longer term basis.
You heard it from the man himself, Akash Kanjwani, the CEO of Skyview Real Estate. What is the golden visa thing that you can crack? If the questions like what would be the minimum amount, property options, mortgages, areas to invest in UAE, rental returns, price appreciations, and what is going to be the community of the week. We're going to be covering these questions over the next 5 segments. Akash, the topic of today is very interesting. It fascinates me that how UAE as a country has become a home and haven for a lot of people, not just listening in but living here.
Correct.
A lot of people get into the country with the idea of spending a year or two, correct?
Well, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
You get fascinated. Some people have been here just coming on a tourism, and then they find it so interesting that they have stayed for 4 or 5 years. In fact, one of my friend from Delhi came around 6 years back.
Right.
He just came for visit. He's never gone back.
Exactly. I came here for about a year. In 2009, and I said, let's probably see how it works. Maybe earn some money and then go back home, start a business or something. But it's been about 16 years right now. And I'm like, it's been a beautiful ride.
Yeah. And I was just, imagining if there is any time award or a Oscar for a city to develop so fast and to give a lifestyle, I think Dubai deserves it.
Absolutely. Akash Kanjwani is the CEO of Skyview Real Estate. He's the chief moderator for Talk Real Estate that takes place every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11. We cover broader topics. Last week it was renting versus owning. You've been living in an apartment and you've been spending 50,000, 60,000 a year, year after year after year, without realizing the fact that over the last 10 years that you've been living here, you've spent like 600, 700,000 just on rental. You could have easily bought your own house until now, and that's what we covered last week, correct?
Correct. Yes, that's the whole idea, that the money that you are paying in rental, you need to use it onto your own asset, which is your house.
Right. This week we're talking about golden visa, the opportunities, and a lot of questions that people have been pouring in right now. So let's talk about golden visa. Do you have a golden visa, Akash?
Oh yes, I think I have a golden visa, and I was lucky enough when the golden visas was initially started. I was offered a golden visa because of the business that we do,
Right.
and but now it's much more easier to get golden visas. Initial stages you had to wait for approval, or they used to send you invite. Now anybody can get a golden visa, and how, we are going to discuss on it.
Alright, so let's talk about it. The perks of having a golden visa.
Well, one of the biggest perks is it's a 10 years golden visa. You don't need to go a renewal for every 2 years. You don't have to do your medical every 2 years. And for 10 years, you have stress-free visa. It's once time, it's pasted on your passport. Sorry, nowadays there's no pasting on the
Right.
passport. But yes, it's a 10 years golden visa. You get your Emirates ID which says 10 years. However, there's one biggest advantage is you can stay out of the country for more than 6 months, which is in a normal visa you can't.
The association of real estate and golden visa, how would you break that down?
Well, the thing is, golden visa gives a additional sense of security. So if you're investing into properties which is more than 2 million worth, it gives you a much more additional sense of security. But 2 million is not the only requirement. There are other visas. There is an investor visa, which is also part of which you can get on the property. So the visa starts from 750,000. That's
Okay.
the minimum amount of investment that you should do into real estate.
So okay, that's one vital question that's coming in from a listener. Nimisha is asking, what is the minimum that I need to invest before I can get a golden visa?
So first, investor visa, which is a 2 years renewable visa, it is a visa that you will have to buy a property of 750,000.
Okay.
If you are above the age of 55 and you have a property of 1 million, you get something 5 years renewable visa.
Okay.
This is a silver visa that they have termed. And then the golden visas, which starts from 2 million and above. So any property which is 2 million and above, you are eligible for golden visa. Until recently, these golden visas were, or the property visas were only eligible for the properties which were ready.
Right.
However, government has changed the policy. They made it even more better. Now, properties which are under mortgage, properties under construction are also eligible to get golden visas and investor visas.
Right. So I think the biggest advantage that I see is a 10-year visa that gives you security, that doesn't give you that stress that, okay, my visa's like 2 years. How quickly does that pass by, right?
Oh, very soon. I mean, now everybody knows that medical, you just finished, and then you have to go take the medical appointment, and then things. Also, one misconception that I want to remove from people: once you have a golden visa, your employer doesn't mean that you don't have a labor card from the employer. You
Right.
have your visa, you're your own sponsor.
Right.
You can still have a same labor card contracts with your old employer. So your visa just changes. You're more free.
Right.
Okay. You can work anywhere, but you still need the labor card if you're working in Dubai. But if you don't want to work, you have a property of 2 million and above, you can get a rentals of annually around 140, 150,000. Maybe you just want to have a relaxed time in Dubai and take just take your vacation here for a long-term vacation and just take that as an investment. But Golden Visa does gives you a lot of security to
Right.
stay in this country. Also, Golden Visa opens the door for international buyers who really don't want to, live Dubai, but they are so frequent travelers and every time they want to take a visit visa and things, so they are more inclined towards Golden Visa. They buy a property here, put it on rent. The property gives them rental returns on a continuous basis, and then with that property they get a golden visa and they can come and go anytime in Dubai.
That's Akash Kanjwani. He's the CEO of Skyview Real Estate. The conversation today is about how can you get your golden visa? What do you need to do? What are the prerequisites? What's the minimum amount? So as he mentioned, that in order to get a golden visa, you need a property worth 2 million. So if someone wants to get started on finding that right kind of property worth 2 million, well, that is the first criteria, correct?
Correct. So 2 million is the criteria that you need to invest into. But as I said, the first property visa, investor visa that you can get starts from 750,000.
Right.
And there are a lot of options. So if you're buying property for the first time, I think you will be more comfortable in investing 750,000.
Right.
Mostly these kind of properties are apartments, which is studio, one bedroom. They give you a rental return of anywhere between 8 to 15%.
Right.
8% if you're putting it on an annual rental in areas like JVC, Arjan, Silicon Oasis. And if you're looking for further investment, you can also put it in a holiday home. You can get it furnished and put it on a short-term rentals.
Right.
And short-term rentals gives you a rental return approximately 13 to 15%, depending on what kind of rental. So that's one area. That's one this thing. But if you want to have bigger properties, about 2 million and above, and you want to be having a golden visa of 10 years, which gives you no tension whatsoever, then you should be looking at properties like townhouses, villas, and beachfront properties, beachfront apartments. There are a lot of options.
To get in touch with Skyview, you can always call or WhatsApp them 050-285-9321. That's the number. The questions are coming in, a lot of questions. The topic of today is very interesting. Golden visas, becoming a long-term resident in the UAE by investing in real estate. And that's what we're covering today. We mentioned the minimum amount that you need to have. 3 categories of visa: a 2-year visa, a silver visa 5 years, and then golden visa for 10 years. The minimum amount that you need to invest in real estate is 2 million. That's the first question answered. We have questions coming in. We have Nidhi asking a very important question, that property options. What are the kind of properties that I can look forward to buying? And what are the formalities for the golden visa part?
Okay, Nidhi, thank you for messaging. I think first of all, you can buy any property, and you can buy multiple properties. So
Right.
even if you buy combined 3 properties of 750,000, 750, so that's if you cover 2 million, you're eligible for golden visa. All you have to do is arrange all these 3 title deeds, visit land department, or call Skyview. We can do this service for you, and we do this for free of charge. We don't charge you anything for the service. The property, there will be insurance charges, which is the medical insurance that you have to pay. Also, I want to just make it a little bit more clear who all can be part of it. So if a husband is buying, he can sponsor his wife and kids.
Okay.
He can also sponsor if it is a golden visa, you can also sponsor your parents under golden visa.
Okay.
But however, if you're taking an investor visa, you can only sponsor your parents for 1 year. which is 750,000. So you can sponsor your parents for 1 year, but your wife and your kids can be under your investor visa, and you can sponsor them for 2 years period, or 5 years as the if you're taking properties worth more than 1 million. And for applying, it takes almost anywhere between 3 to 4 days that you will need application approval, and the entire visa for us, it has been not more than a week.
Okay.
Based on the appointments that you get. And the process is very hassle-free. All you need to have your title deeds ready, your Emirates ID if you have a previous visa over here. If you're a visitor to Dubai, then you have to make sure that you plan at least 10 to 15 days to stay in this country to finish your visa process. And
that's it, just takes about 10 to 15 days?
Yes. We have in fact processed, one of our investors flew in from Italy for golden visa, and he got his visa in 3 days time.
Phenomenal.
So, and then only thing is he was waiting for his Emirates ID, which took almost 12 days to come in. And he, after getting the golden visa, he has opened his bank accounts. Now he has put his property on rentals. His rents are coming to his bank account. And initially he just wanted a golden visa so that he keeps on coming at least twice or thrice a week here. Now he made it a point that he stays 6 months in Dubai. During the winter period, and 6 months back in his home country.
Right. Saad is pouring in a question right now. He's like, what's the hot property I can invest on right now that can give me long-term returns?
Okay, so again, as I said, in order to allow me to understand your budget, but let's say I'll give you 3 categories. If you're looking at affordable category, then you should look into areas like JVC. The hottest
property right now.
The hottest property in JVC right now is Avanos Residence. It's a G+4 residential property where you can have a 1-bedroom starting from 740,000.
Okay.
You have a 2-bedroom starting from 1 million, and a 3-bedroom starting from 1.5 million. This is in the affordable category. The hottest category for villas right now, Nakhil and Maidan jointly have launched a new project called District 1.
Okay.
In fact, they just started collecting EOIs yesterday, and they are only 260 units, and there are more than 600 EOIs collected just in first hour itself.
Wow.
So it's that hot, and the prices are amazing. 4-bedroom is starting from 7.5 million. 5-bedroom is from 11.9 million, and this is the most hottest property I will save today.
Okay, fantastic. 050-285-9321. That's the number to reach out to Skyview Real Estate. An interesting question has come in, Akash. Hello, I want to know how can I apply for a golden visa through off-plan property? How much percentage of amount should have been paid to be eligible, and what are the steps afterwards? And the last 4 digits are 3210. Thank you for asking. If you could share your name, that would be wonderful. Akash, what is off-plan property?
So first of all, off-plan properties is a property which is not ready. And for off-plan properties, you don't get title deeds. You get initial ukud, it's called ukud, or pre-title deed, as some people say it, or it is a delayed sale title deed. Now, the reason this person must be asking, until very recently, the golden visa was only offered to people with title deed. That means people with ready properties.
Right.
Government of Dubai has gone further. They have said that even people eligible in off-plan properties can be eligible for golden visas. However, the condition is that you should have paid up for 2 million or more.
Right.
And not all off-plan projects are eligible for golden visa. So before you apply for golden visa with the off-plan project, now 99.9% are, but there are few developers which have not updated their payment plans and their registration process in land department. So it's better that you check with land department which property you own, but make sure that you have paid up 2 million or more for golden visa. Even if you have paid 750 for off-plan properties as a down payment or your initial installments, you will be eligible for investor's visa for sure.
Reasons why off-plan is taken?
Well, the thing is, one of the reasons why off-plan properties have taken off so well is because Dubai doesn't really have that kind of supply which is available. So today, if you're going and buying a property, there are very, very, very limited supply. Apart from the belief, the real numbers speak, the demand is much more higher than the supply. And every time a new community gets developed, it takes almost 3 to 4 years period for it to get ready. When the market boom started in 2020, mid-2020, Dubai then had enough properties to offer to investors which were flowing in from internationally to Dubai. And that is the reason that off-plan has taken off. A lot of times you invest in off-plan not for rental return but for property appreciation. And also for the main reason to apply or buy off-plan property is that you might not get the choice or the locality that you're looking. And off-plan, there must be a new project which is just launched next to your house, or the kind of layout that you're looking for is only available in certain new developers. As the developers have been updating their technology, they are more taking feedbacks from customers now. We spoke about Tilal Al Gaf last week as Community of the Week.
Right.
And one of the reasons I really love this community because they have been updating their flow plans as per customer requirements regularly.
Right.
They had just someone had just pointed out that why there should be only one walk-in closet. The men need separate and women need separate. Actually, men just need a wardrobe, small, not a walk-in closet. Women needs a walk-in closet, but they updated. They gave both walk-in closet for men and women, and this is what the new developers are taking into consideration. So off-plan is purely for investment or the layouts or the locality that you didn't get. Ready properties, there are a lot of choices. One more thing, a lot of people find it difficult to find a ready property vacant.
Right.
Because as per land department rules and as per Dubai government rules, you cannot simply ask the tenant to move out.
Right.
You need to give him a time period, a notice period, and that's the reason a lot of people might not find a vacant or empty houses to buy right now.
Right. Well, interesting. That was Mohammed asking this question. Mohammed, thank you for asking that question. He has more questions. So, Mohammed, I'd route you to the number of Skyview Real Estate, 050-285-9321. That's the number to reach out to. And they can definitely help you on your route to getting your golden visa through planned property. So, off-plan versus ready. So off-plan is obviously a great option, but what are the kind of monies one should probably think of?
So there are a lot of developers which have come down with payment plans like 1% per month.
That is correct. Fascinating one.
Yeah, so you have a certain amount that you need to pay, let's say 10%, 20%, 25%. Different developers follow different down payment rule. And then they ask you for remaining installment as 1% per month.
Right.
There are also developers which gives you a post-handover payment plan.
Okay.
However, if you are looking for mortgage, I would suggest off-plan is not for you.
Okay.
Because off-plan is someone who is a cash buyer, but he doesn't have the cash immediately available.
Right.
He doesn't want to take a mortgage. He wants to fund the property by its own money, but he wants a longer payment period. So off-plan is someone for them, and also it makes a great return on investment, because let's say you have purchased the property and you are paid 30%. The property has appreciated by another 15%. Practically, if you sell on 30% with 15% premium, you're making 50% ROI. And some of the people are making 200 to 300% ROI on just picking up right off-plan properties and selling it without even the property being ready.
So let's give examples of a few off-plan properties that are out in the market.
So, for example, Imar just launched last week townhouses in Arabian Ranches 3. The 3-bedroom was starting from a price of 2 million.
Okay.
There are very, very limited, maybe 1 or 2 units must be remaining sold out. The payment plan was 80% during construction, 20% on handover. The resale was on 50% down payment, only then you can resell the property. But by the time of completion, or by the time you finish 50%, we expect the property to be around 2.5, 2.6 million. So that's 500,000 on top. You have paid 1 million and 500,000 as premium, that's 50% return on investment.
Fantastic.
And for most such deals, it will take me an entire day. Talk will kick me out if I keep on speaking. But I think the people who are looking for investment should call us, sit down. We are not going to force you to buy.
Right.
Trust me. It's a long-term process.
I think it's the right kind of advice. The hand-holding that Skyview does can actually help a person, at least, who's at least contemplating at this point of time, at least help guide them to the right direction.
Correct. And that's the whole idea. I mean, we understand there are many people who are on the fence, who are thinking about buying but have not bought.
I've been on the fence for the longest time, Akash.
You're going to be the first customer. Well, like Sunny and me, the moment we met, Sunny has always been very, he always wanted details and he always wanted was to invest. And I think there are a lot of other people. And with this talk show, we only want to clear their doubts. Whether you buy or not is your personal choice. But at least Skyview and me personally will be able to guide you through how do you challenge and what kind of expectation you can have from a property. I'm not going to tell you the property is going to make you a millionaire by tomorrow. No, it's not. Unless you understand how do you invest, what kind of expectations you can have, and what kind of preparation you can do about before buying a property. And since we spoke about last episode, that it was very clear, the first thing is the budget.
Right.
if you don't have a budget to start with, you will be going haywire. You will look at everything, but you will end up buying either wrong property or you will not be buying any property. So why do you want to do that? Let's start with a basic process and then take step by step, next step. Even if you buy property not today, maybe after 6 months, maybe after 1 year, a start is good. A mind to buy, like a thought to buy a property is always good.
Fantastic. Akash Kanjwani, the CEO of Skyview Real Estate. This is The Real Estate on Talk 100.3. And the conversation of today is very interesting. Golden visas, becoming a long-term resident in the UAE by investing in real estate. We cover broader topics every single week. Last week was owning versus buying. This week it's golden visa. Next week it's going to be about a very interesting topic, Akash. What is that going to be?
So, as we spoke about off-plan projects, next week we're gonna speak about developers and the projects that are there. We're gonna go each project one by one with multiple developers which are there in the market, and also we expect few developers to launch in the future in coming months, and we're gonna speak about that. So, anyone who's looking to buy off-plan properties should listen in to us next week, because then he can make a choice. We are going to give properties starting from approximately 450,000 all the way till 90 million.
Okay, let's talk about, if we were to summarize, we spoke about the minimal amount, that's a 2 million to get a golden visa.
Correct.
We've spoken about the processes, it takes about 2 weeks, a maximum of 2 weeks for one to get it.
Yeah.
Property options were mentioned by you, like JVC being available, and you spoke about Arabian ranches.
Correct.
More questions coming on what are the top, properties that one can avail when it comes to basic spend, right? That can also be broadly covered.
So basic spend, you can look in properties in International City, which gives you a studio for 230,000. But you need to understand that is whether that fulfills your requirement of this thing. Every property has its pros and cons.
Right.
So a minimum investment in Dubai for properties is starting from 250,000. But a right investment in a right location, why do I say JVC, Arjan? They're very centrally located.
Right.
They're very close. They're not very far from the old Dubai. They are very close to Media City, to Javza, which is the traditional working hotspot for people.
Right.
And because of this locality, it's always easier to rent it out.
Right.
And because you can rent it out, it's a good rental return, and it's always a long-term, continuous, a consistent rental return that you can get on these properties.
Let's broaden rental returns over here.
Right.
So rental returns, when we talk about rental returns, it's important to understand that someone needs to understand that it's not something that can give you a return in the very next day or the very next month. That's a preconceived notion that people have.
No, actually, you can. You can get rental return from very next day itself. And Dubai offers you the highest rental return. Just, if you're a tenant, just look at the amount you're paying to your landlord. So the point is, if you're buying the right property and your pure expectation is rental return, you should always invest in a smaller and multiple properties. A studio will always be more in demand. A 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom will be more in demand. The higher you go, the rental return starts reducing. The more, let's just say that, when there is a 3-bedroom, you need a particular family who will be renting a 3-bedroom. Studio and 1-bedrooms are always in demand, because let's just say most people who come to Dubai are single. They are looking for having a space, and then maybe a family. Yes, families also. And currently the demand for 2-bedroom is all-time high, because there are a lot of people who are calling their families back from India or their workplaces to Dubai. So the 2-bedroom availability is this, but this is temporary. This is seasonal. A studio and a 1-bedroom always stays in demand.
Right.
And if you have a properties in JBR, which is a beachfront, you can furnish them. Right now, beachfront properties as a holiday home are in crazy demand, and they are not seasonal anymore. Gone are those days that people will rent out beachfront properties only during winters, and summers they will stay empty. No, people are coming. There are long-term residents who are coming, and I think last year summer was the best for holiday homes in Dubai, because there are a lot of people who have moved in over here, and they were just understanding the property market. They were understanding whether they want to go in long-term lease or no, and they were staying in these kind of properties, and they were doing fantastic.
Fantastic. Community of the week. Before we go, this is a very interesting conversation that we'd like to know. What is the community of the week?
So every week we are gonna pick one particular community. Obviously, Dubai, every place in Dubai is nice, but there are few communities which people like it because of their taste. And every week we are gonna say pros and cons of that community, the facilities that are available, the locality of that community. And I think for this week, I have been speaking a lot about JVC. So I will just give a few details why JVC is interesting for you as an option.
Okay. So why?
All right. So JVC is a community which has multiple options. You have townhouses, you have villas, you have apartments. The entry price range for JVC is approximately 400,000, which
Okay.
are few buildings which can do that. You can have a choice in apartments with a low-rise building like G plus 4, G plus 5. You also have a high-rise building like G plus 20, 30, which offer a fantastic skyline view of Dubai. You have hotel apartments like Five Palm, which gives you a very interesting kind of layout, which every apartment comes with a private swimming pool. So you have multiple choices in JVC.
Right.
JVC is centrally located. You have 5 entry and exit points for JVC. Also, interestingly, there is a mall called Circle Mall, which is very busy.
It's interesting that they've placed the right kind of community mall over there, right?
Correct, and I mean the shops are, you have Nestor supermarket, you have Spinneys, you have fantastic restaurants over there, and I think this is one of the community mall which has been so successful. There is gym, which I don't think so I'll be going for recently, but yes, everything that you need in a community mall is present over there. And
Right.
trust me, on during the weekdays, I'm not talking about weekends. During the weekdays in the evening, it will be difficult to find parking over there. It's that good.
Fantastic. JVC. So you're saying it starts from a 400,000 and goes all the way up to, so 400,000 would be for a basic studio?
Basic studio, and then if you're looking for a villa with you can get something for around 7.4, the maximum price for a villa. Also, interestingly, you can buy your land and construct your own villa in JVC.
Fascinating. Well, 0502859321 is the number to reach Skyview Real Estate. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of today's segment, but a lot of questions can be poured in. We have a question coming in from. There's one question coming in, a very interesting question. Talking about a minimum 2 million investment. What about the low budget people who cannot afford about 2 million? Would there be something that one can look forward to beyond JVC?
Well, as we said, if I think his question is regarding the golden visa.
Right.
So as we said that if you don't have 2 million, that's the price bracket for a golden visa. However, you can take 750,000 investor visa. You can always that's a renewable 2 years visa. As long as you hold that property for 750,000 or more, you will always be getting a renewable visa, and that gives you a kind of comfort that you're on your own visa, not sponsored by anyone, your own sponsor, and finally, once you take that next step and you keep buying more properties, you can always keep. And 2 million is not just for one properties of 2 million. You can have multiple properties of 2 million.
Fantastic. What would you? So, thank you for today's very interesting conversation, Akash. Next week, as you mentioned again, is something is going to be an interesting topic as well, because you're going to be covering developers next week.
Correct. So we are going to look at developers and different communities. We are going to jot down each different new launches which has happened by developer's name and the community name. We are going to cover their payment plan, their starting price, and what you expect in the near future with these ones, and what kind of rental returns are you expecting with investing in these.
Fantastic.